Hello and welcome back to another video. In this particular video, I wanted to talk about the struggle of a religious person against anger, lust, and greed. Now, these three feelings are something that are the root of a lot of conflict in the world. A lot of violence in the world arises from anger, from lust, and from greed. Now, there is certainly futility in approaching and following these feelings, and we, as adult human beings, certainly at some point get to terms with these feelings. We understand that under anger we are not clearly thinking, under lust we are not being responsible, under greed we are hoarding things, under greed we are tending to accumulate things in a very greedy manner, in a manner that is going to let us eventually be so greedy enough that we are okay with cheating someone, with lying to someone. And so these three things in our lives at some point become a fight. These three feelings become something that we must somehow deal with, because under these feelings we tend to be most irrational, most violent, most away from what we think of ourselves as ourselves. So, what is the way to deal with anger, greed, and lust? Since this point has not been made clear, people go and tend to become certainly kind of repressive. They try to go against these feelings somehow. What they do, in fact, is on a longer basis, on a view from the long term, what they do is eventually harm themselves. By neglecting a part of you, by neglecting a feeling, by resisting it, you tend to create something of a multiple personality disorder. You tend to suppress it and say that it is bad. And this will eventually lead a person to being so uncontrollable at some point that the anger or the greed or the lust will become unmanageable, and a simple spark of it will lead you to commit heinous crimes even. So a person who represses themselves, who represses anger, who represses greed and lust, is this is not the way to deal with these feelings. The way is to not harm yourself when you feel these feelings. Instead, a simple way to deal with them is to first be aware of them when they arise, and then offer them to the God that you believe in. Look at it as a part of your life. Look at it with acceptance and be affirming of these feelings. Of course, do not act upon them. if you feel like not acting upon them. But do not repress them either. Do not repress your emotions. A man must certainly understand that his anger is a force to deal with, and an energy that can be diverted towards passion, towards his utmost higher desires. Anger can lead you to rise in success more easily than make a stupid mistake under the influence of anger. Greed is going to make you characterless. It is not going to make you open and giving. It is going to benefit your character, your personality. Greed is going to make you stingy. It is going to make you vulnerable. It is going to make you weak and thirsty. And looking at a man who is thirsty or greedy is certainly not a good sight. Lust is the end of relationships. It creates havoc in your family life. It destroys you psychologically. It makes you crippled to this thing, to this organ. It makes you feel as if sex is the only truth in the world, that it is the only form of pleasure, only form of highest pleasure. You will soon lose the pleasure of understanding, the pleasure of intellect, the pleasure of simply not indulging, the pleasure of being a celibate monk, the pleasure of being content with yourself. Anger, of course, and we must have all dealt with anger at some point in our lives, especially as we grow old. We understand that it is not as good as it seems. The ego loves anger. It wants to crush those who are who you are angry with. It wants to crush them and belittle them. It wants to hurt them and be violent. So why do you pursue these feelings? Why do you not aim to somehow be free of these feelings? If you have thought about this, then you must have also thought about how you can deal with them, and you must have your own tricks to deal with them. I simply want to suggest that whatever trick you have, look if it is life affirming. Look if it accepts anger. Look if it accepts lust. Look if it accepts greed, and then deal with it. Offer it to a deity and praise it. Praise anger. Praise lust. Praise greed, because they are a force of energy that arises inside you. A force of energy that is so powerful that can lead a person to become a prime minister, a president, a CEO of a company. So powerful that it makes man commit such irrational acts, and the influence of it is so real that it is hard to ignore these feelings. So offer them to the deity, praise them as if they are forces that you have, and soon you will see anger arises, and you simply convert it into compassion, and you simply look at it as if it is a chance to pray to your deity, as if it is a chance to simply meditate as soon as it comes, as if every time it comes, you get closer to God, you get closer to your higher purpose, to your higher self, and every time you conquer it, you feel free, you feel courageous, instead of feeling guilty, instead of feeling remorse, you will feel courageous, and you will feel alive. You will gain a confidence, a divine confidence, and a control upon yourself, and a control upon your life, and peace will certainly come when you have eradicated them from your life completely. So be on the journey to eradicate and affirm anger, lust, and greed. Thank you for watching till the end. I hope you like the video, and be sure to subscribe to my channel for more videos on spirituality and self-development. Thank you, and bye bye.